Welcome back to the Foul Line. I'm your host as always, Connor Black. With me as usual, Wyatt Olson.
What's up?
Again, missing Wyatt Hall today. He is sick. Well, definitely I'm back for the next one. But yeah, let's just kind of jump right into things. As we know, the Final Four for women's is tonight, men's is tomorrow. We said last episode that LSU and Iowa was going to be a great matchup, and it was. I mean, Caitlin Clark put on a show for the ages.
All-time classic.
I mean, 41 points. What was it?
9 threes.
9 threes. That's ridiculous.
Was it 1 rebound or assist short of the triple-double?
Three rebounds short.
3 rebounds.
Yeah, I think she had like 41, 13, and 7 or something like that. That's like, we see Luka put up those stat lines in the NBA.
Yeah.
And then, somebody like Caitlin Clark could come in and put that up in an NCAA women's tournament. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Definitely undisputed #1 pick in the upcoming draft. It's at Indiana. They have the first pick. But yeah, and you're a big fan of Paige. They took down Juju Watkins in a great game. Another great matchup. Juju plays like a guy. Like, I watch her play, and she plays like she's like playing pickup. She does.
She's bigger than everybody else.
Like, I see her. She hit like a double. She had like a double tween step back right in front of Paige, and I was just like, we don't really see a lot of girls move like that. It's not a bad thing, but like, it's just impressive to see.
Right.
But tonight, Iowa versus UConn, Caitlin versus Paige. It's gonna be a great game. 8:30. Who you got winning that matchup tonight?
It's hard to
bias aside.
I mean, obviously Caitlin's the best player in the country. But Paige is probably my favorite women's player. I think it'd be a close game. I think Paige's team is slightly better, well-rounded. I think they have obviously I think they have the all-time coach. I can't pronounce that man's name.
Yeah.
But the all-time coach, I think he can find a way to, at least if you can get even slowing her down is seemingly impossible, anymore. But if you can get her, slow her down at some point, maybe get her in foul trouble, and let Paige do what she does, and let the team has done the last 2 years, even without Paige when she wasn't healthy. It's still an outstanding team. I think the Huskies are a little bit deeper, and I think UConn will win.
Yeah.
Post-game, though.
I really want to say, like, whoever wins this matchup is going to win it all. But if you look at the other side, you have undefeated South Carolina, who hasn't lost a game in the last 2 years. Because, in the regular season last year, they went undefeated, obviously lost in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And then this past year, they haven't lost a game leading up to tonight. And they're playing NC State, I believe.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I don't know. I want South Carolina to lose because I want to see Caitlin or Paige get a win in the championship, because that's what everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anybody's going to beat South Carolina.
I don't. Their team with Dawn Staley has just been unbelievable. Like you say, just tearing the opponents apart. It's pretty ridiculous the amount of points they win by. Even like we think what UConn men's does is ridiculous. Maybe what the Gamecocks.
Their first 2 games in the tournament, they won by like 40 plus, 30 plus. That's ridiculous.
And like the game was over in first quarter, and you could see it from a mile away. And just they play the right way, but they just beat you because they know they're better than you, and they prove it every single night. I don't think it's definitely not going to be easy for North Carolina State. They probably overachieved to some degree at this point. Had a phenomenal year. I think South Carolina's going to win, but like you said, I really hope that if they pull the upset, so we can get one of Paige or Caitlin in said championship game against probably the best all-around team in the South Carolina championship game.
Yeah, and even if, I'm really pulling for Caitlin more, just because Paige coming back next year. She already announced she's coming back for her 5th year, missed the 2 years with the ACL tear. Speaking of that, I seen on ESPN today, on ESPN, and I can't remember her name. She's an analyst, and she said that if Paige would have played the last 2 years, Caitlin Clark would not be even talked about.
I don't know how one person playing just completely shines out another person, but
that's one thing I don't like about. I've done it myself. You've done it, but I don't like how people tear somebody else down to talk good about somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, I think if Paige plays the last 2 years, Caitlin Clark probably isn't like the #1 player in college basketball. Like, obviously Paige is going to compete with that.
Yeah.
But she's what does Paige playing have to do with her growth?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
What does that change?
Yeah. Some like let's say, what does like anything? Like I said, just two separate individuals. They don't play the same conference. They barely play. They don't think they've ever played each other before.
They play each other in tournament their freshman years.
Freshman years, so you played each other one time in your life. So like, what is? I don't understand the correlation in saying, well, just because she didn't play, she's gonna rise to stardom.
But she's not.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. But I just thought that was interesting as she said that because she was on with Stephen A. Smith and Stephen A. just was like,
Oh.
he gave a weird look, and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't. Why does that make sense? Like how?
It doesn't.
I mean, if Paige plays the last 2 years, she's probably undoubtedly, not even undoubtedly, but just she's definitely the top 2 player
Oh yeah.
in college basketball right now. Her and Caitlin side by side.
And she's got potential, if she stays healthy next year, to be #1 next year.
Oh yeah, for sure. And she said that she doesn't want to be known as the #1 player. Like doesn't want to be the one next
Yeah.
year. Like she wants everybody else. Like she wants the competition.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's respectable.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's nice. It's gonna be a great game
I
against
will be tuning in.
against Iowa. Yeah, on the way back, I'm gonna pull it up while I'm driving. But on the men's side, tomorrow we have Alabama versus UConn, and then who was on the other side?
It is train of thought. Purdue and NC State.
I hate to say it, but I don't think Purdue's gonna lose that game.
It's
Zach Edey has been
Unbelievable.
unstoppable.
Yeah.
Now, going off topic, does he have a chance? I mean, he's projected to go top 20 right now in the draft.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's actually higher than I thought.
If he does get drafted that high, he's gonna get drafted. So when he gets drafted, what does his NBA, career kind of look like?
If it's so hard to say because we sit like nowadays with how spacing is in the NBA, how high scoring things are, how high developed guys are. 7-footers Wemby shooting threes like it's nothing. He can't do that.
And he's not scoring outside of 5 feet.
Right. But you still have guys like Clint Capella, Daniel Gafford. Like these are guys who don't shoot ever. Not supposed to. That's not their job.
Yeah.
And are making phenomenal careers out of the NBA. So, but I think the one thing that's also in Zach's way is he's not a great athlete.
He's very slow.
He's very slow, heavy-footed. You can definitely see where he is obviously very strong for his size. He's got natural muscle.
He's what, 7'3", 7'4"?
Yes, he's like 260 or 270, something like that. But like I said, it's different because like I said, Capella and Gafford, guys like that have a natural first step. They're quick off their feet, and Zach isn't
Very athletic.
Yes, but it's just different. I think he could still find a role in the NBA with the right team, and the
So when
right
you think
coach.
about it, there's players like him that are, slow-footed, not
Yeah.
crazy at. I mean, look at you can just
The first person I think of is Zubats.
yeah. Zubac is a little athletic though.
Yeah.
I think of guys like Enes Kanter,
Yeah,
but Enes Kanter can shoot the ball a little bit. Steven Adams.
yeah,
I mean, he's a little more faster, but just from that build and that size and kind of how their role has been, those are 2 guys that I think really resemble how he could have an impact in the NBA. Because he's gonna be a good defender in the post no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
He's huge.
yeah.
I see him playing in the G League his first couple of years though.
Yes, just to develop and to get up, just to match NBA speed. Because G League guys are still running just as fast as NBA guys.
I mean, college to G League is still a huge step.
absolutely.
I mean, and he's how old? He's 20. He's played all 40.
44.
Yeah, so that's kind of my issue as well. Is he's not young enough to where he can completely change.
A franchise.
No, not even that. It completely change how he plays.
True.
Like he might be. He can still develop a decent jumper, but he's 24. I mean,
How much better is he already going to be?
he's 24. He's carrying around a giant build.
How high is his ceiling?
How long can he stay productive and healthy to get faster and things like that? Because I mean, honestly, look at Yao Ming. I mean, he was that guy. He was probably the same size, honestly. And
Yeah.
the reason he couldn't play is because he kept breaking his foot because of how his build was.
Yeah.
But obviously, science and medicals and everything like that is completely advanced now. But that's what that reminds me of.
It does me too. I think, obviously, maybe you find the right coach, strength and conditioning coach on any team. Because like there are coaches everywhere in the NBA that he doesn't have to be the head coach. You find an assistant coach or somebody that can untap your potential and the sky's the limit for you.
Yeah.
I still think Zach can be very contributing to any team in the league. I think it just depends on the destination and where he goes in the right situation.
I just hope he doesn't end up somewhere where we see a lot of players go to die, like, Detroit or Charlotte or the Wizards.
Yeah.
Places like that is where I don't
He
see him go.
needs to go to a team that's got a good culture already and is ready to win now, that maybe just needs another good piece to have in the vault.
I mean, I'm not like I said, I'm not crazy bought in on Zach Edey, but I wouldn't complain about him coming off the bench for OKC.
No.
Behind Chet.
Absolutely not.
Because that's something that we need, is size off the bench.
You know what
our second unit.
You're getting rebounding and defense.
And the thing is, you can still play Jay Will and Kenrich over him.
Uh-huh.
And you can still, but imagine you're in the playoffs and Chet, because that's OKC's biggest problem right now. When Chet comes out of the game, the rebound numbers plummet.
Yes.
So imagine you're in the playoffs against Jokic, and you sub out Chet, and you send 7'4" Zach Edey in to guard Jokic. That sounds so much better than sending in 6'8", 6'9" Jay Will, because
it's just a big
big
difference.
difference.
It's just a big difference. It doesn't seem, to the regular person, it doesn't seem like, that big of a difference, but I mean, if you've watched ball and played ball, it's a massive difference.
I mean, we see the difference between Sabonis and AD.
Yeah.
Like, Sabonis is 7 foot, AD's 6'10", and we see just the massive difference there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
ridiculous.
pretty ridiculous.
But back to the Final Four, another solid post guy, Donovan Clingan in UConn. Who do you got coming out of that one?
Definitely got UConn. No disrespect to Alabama, they've had a great year, but just what UConn is doing to everybody they play.
What they built through this tournament
Yes.
is ridiculous.
Their depth is unbelievable. They can play anybody and still have success. Klingon has been phenomenal. They can beat you in every single way. Some of the stats that they put up defensively, where was it Illinois didn't score for like 50 minutes of game time or something ridiculous like that. It was ridiculous. It's insane. It was tied at halftime, and then they look up, they're down 30, and they haven't scored yet.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's easy for them.
Yeah, and if Purdue and UConn, it's my pick to go to the finals, obviously.
Yeah.
And if those two potentially match up, that's going to be, I think, a deciding factor on where Zach and Donovan both fall in the draft, is how they compete against each other.
I think it'll affect it, but I don't think it's like a major.
I think for Zach it is.
For Zach, yes. Donovan, because Donovan's only 21, 22.
He's projected to go top 8 right now.
Donovan's like 20 or 21, so he's got age on his side. He's more athletic than Zach is. He's shown a good jump shot, and he's just as good as a defender as Zach is.
Yeah.
So I would think Donovan depends on it more.
Yeah. You mean Zach?
Or Zach does, yeah.
And the thing is, we've seen number one players that win the Naismith, player, or not the Naismith Player of the Year, the number one player in college basketball. Yeah. I can't think of the award, but like Luka Garza won it and is now back and forth from the G League. Just got picked up on a full-time contract finally with the Timberwolves. But like guys like that, that's how big that jump is. Like he was the number one player in college basketball 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now is like
He's
nobody in the
roster
NBA.
spot.
Yeah. I mean,
It's the same thing in football. Like some Heisman winners don't always reach stardom. Mark Ingram kind of really never did. Derrick Henry was a second-round pick as a Heisman winner.
That's
it's
true.
ridiculous.
But that's just a big jump.
It is.
And you have guys that fall bottom 15 in the first round and come out and they're still like Cam Whitmore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he definitely could have went. He definitely should have went higher, but apparently there was some other stuff going on with that. But so Purdue and UConn, and let's say they make it to the finals. Who do you take?
I'm gonna still take UConn. I think they're a better shooting team than Purdue is, and I think they're more well-rounded. And I think the coach is better than Purdue's coach.
Yeah, Zach Edey's been on a tear.
So,
it's just hard for me to see. Donovan's a good defender, but it's hard for me to say that he slows him down enough to where, because he gets a lot of calls too.
Yeah.
He knows how to get those calls. So it's hard for me to say that he doesn't come out and drop another, 30 bomb, 35 with 15 rebounds.
Yeah.
He could be like an Andre Drummond type player, just less athletic.
I can see that. Yeah. I think do you think UConn is gonna have to double every time Zach touches the ball?
They might just tag. like play tag with him.
Right. I think that would work better for them. I think Donovan is good enough physically to hold up the whole game. I think Donovan probably would play the whole game.
No.
I mean, but they have the bodies to throw at him, and even if like
they have more depth than Purdue.
Absolutely. And like Purdue can just pick somebody up off the bench and say, just be rough with Zach and
UConn.
Right. Yeah. Or UConn just pick somebody up off the bench and say, just be rough with them, have him pick up a foul or two, and just shake his game up.
Yeah, I could definitely see them running tag defense where you have Donovan sitting behind, and you got the guy from the ball side who's coming in, or guy from the offside coming in, touching and tagging, back and forth, just to make sure he's not getting. And he's still going to touch us.
Yeah, because
he's still going to get to his spots, but Donovan's very athletic.
Yes.
So I think he could have a chance to out-jump Zach in that realm, but it's going to be fun to see. It's been a fun year for college basketball. One of my favorites, honestly.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of upsets.
Yes.
We've seen
the rise of mid-majors.
We've seen incredible stat lines on the men's and women's side.
Yes.
I mean, 2 players are probably going to go top 5 in this upcoming draft. Got eliminated in the first round.
Yep.
Jared McCain probably going to go top 20. Got eliminated in the Elite 8. Yeah. Put on a great tournament.
What did you?
50-50-90 in the tournament, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think he had 32 in his last game.
He's undersized too.
Yeah,
for his position.
Yeah. I think this tournament kind of opened the eyes of this draft class. Like, yes, there's not a for sure number 1, but this draft class is very talented.
You're going to find
from
quality
top to
talent.
bottom.
You're going to find quality talent picks 1 through 64.
Like last year, we thought it was top to bottom great. I think this year is even better.
I
besides the top 3 picks.
Yeah, and I saw on Instagram today, an anonymous NBA GM said this is probably one of the worst draft classes he's ever seen. Well, you mean that because there's no Zion or Ja Morant,
There's no
Wemby, or Anthony Davis, who's clear cut number 1. But like I said, you're going to find there are plenty of guys in here that
can be a franchise player.
Yeah, it could be their floor is a second option or a high level third option, or even just a high level role player.
Yeah.
And we see how every team everybody's got to have at least 3 or 4 high level role
Robin
players.
Reed didn't even start in college.
Right.
They're coming off the bench. So put those guys. They're predicted to go top 5 coming off the bench. Same guy just like Devin Booker came off the bench in college, and he was a lottery pick, or I think 13.
Yeah.
And look at him now, one of the best 2 guards in the league, if not the best.
If not the best. Yep.
So the draft, Jokic, he was drafted in the second round, late second round, and look at him now, 2-time MVP, probably going to win a 3rd this year, probably on his way to another ring. The draft is so. I don't know the word is, just so dynamic that you can pull players from anywhere.
Yep.
And the worst draft class is definitely 2000. 2000 was a horrible draft class.
Was really bad. That's probably the all-time gotta be the worst.
Yeah, I seen a poll that said that was the worst draft class of all time.
I can't even remember that class top to top.
I'm pretty sure that's when Kenyon Martin went number 1.
Oh, okay. Kenyon Martin was okay.
But imagine him being number 1 pick in the draft, and then look at all the other number 1 picks after him.
Yeah.
3 years later, you had LeBron.
Yeah.
The year after that, you had Dwight Howard. And it's just, I think number 1 picks, I'm not going to be like, man, Kenyon Martin was a great one.
He's just athletic.
He was good. His son's good. His son's going to be really good. But kind of jumping into, Braun and things like that, touching on him a little bit, even though we got play-in circle, square, whatever you want to call it. We got bottom, top, Warriors, Lakers.
Pelicans and Kings.
Yeah, or is it Kings, Pelicans, or Pelicans, Kings?
It's Pelicans, Kings, Lakers, Warriors.
Yeah, so
if the Kings lose tonight, Lakers win tomorrow, the Lakers will jump Sacramento. And maybe they might jump Phoenix too because they've had the tiebreaker over them.
Yeah.
So
depends on how Phoenix falls.
Right, and Lakers would at that point be out of the play-in.
Yeah.
So
potentially, all 4 of those teams can make a title run.
Absolutely.
I
don't think Sacramento can.
What did I say? Yeah, Kevin Carter out, Malik Monk's out.
De'Aaron hasn't had a great second half.
Bonus. Sabonis has been amazing. He's probably, I'm not gonna lie, he's probably the most underrated player in the league.
Yes.
He is.
Imagine if he had a consistent 3-point shot.
He's just so disrespected.
Yeah.
He should have been an all-star this year.
Absolutely.
He was like number 10 or 9 MVP voting last. He should be top 6, top 7. Because yes, Sacramento is a lower seed this year, but he has more triple doubles this season than Jokic.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
And he's not getting talked about.
Nope.
He broke the record for double doubles.
Yes.
Why is he
I
not?
don't know. I mean,
Is it because he's in Sacramento?
it's probably just because he's in Sacramento. Because I mean, it'd be the same thing if Brandon Miller averaged was averaging.
But they're not that bad.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like, just because they're not good or one of the top echelon teams, they're just not going to get the publicity.
Spohn's got snubbed a lot this year.
Absolutely has.
It's ridiculous.
And he's like, he hardly ever talks about it, but you can tell it pisses him off.
Oh, it would. I mean, it would piss anybody off.
Yeah.
I mean, he is putting up incredible numbers. He's battling with every center, 9 in, 9 out.
Plays through every injury
he's
ever
a
had.
good defender.
Yeah.
Like, he's the reason OKC can't beat the Kings.
Yeah.
It is so frustrating to watch our bench unit try to come in and guard Sabonis when he's still in the game. Kenrich Williams looks like a baby compared to Sabonis. It is so frustrating.
Yeah.
But I honestly would rather see the Lakers and Warriors play in the play-in than the Lakers make it out, because that'd just be a great game.
Yeah.
Like, for basketball fans, that's an amazing matchup. I mean,
The double overtime game we got Lakers and Warriors. I literally think that's the best game I've ever watched in my life.
and like, you got the potential, because it's been said LeBron probably has a good 2-3 years left in the league,
Yeah.
maybe 1 or 2. So this could be a potentially last chance for him, honestly, to make that run. I mean, obviously if he stays another 2 or 3 years, but we don't know what his future is. We don't know where he's going to go. We don't know what the Lakers are going to do. So just imagine a last dance for LeBron, and it starts in the play-in against where it all started, basically, with Steph Curry.
Yep.
I mean, that would just be cinema.
Magical.
It's in the script.
Yeah. Stories of good.
And then Pelicans, I think they'll make it out.
I do too.
And so if the playoffs were to start today, you would have obviously Timberwolves, Timberwolves playing whoever in the play-in, or the play-in winner, and then Nuggets playing whoever, OKC playing the Suns, Clippers playing the Mavericks. Which
That'd be a
all
great
4 of
series.
those 2 series right there, the OKC and Suns, and then the Mavericks and Clippers, I wish playoffs started today.
Yeah.
Because those are, honestly, that's a dream first round pool for OKC.
It really is.
Because they don't have a lot of depth,
You just beat Phoenix.
by a lot,
Yeah.
with no
shade. And no Dub.
No, they had Dub that game.
But they did have that.
They had Dub, because he had 33.
Yeah.
But then also they beat the Knicks without Shea.
Yeah.
And then they lose to this Joel Embiid 76ers without Shea and Dub by 5 points.
Mhm.
Obviously lost to the Celtics by a lot, but held in the game pretty long.
It wasn't until the fourth quarter where they gave out, they ran out of gas.
But I kind of like it. It shows that Shea cares more about team success, in the playoffs, than it does about him winning the MVP.
Yeah.
Because, he could have played those games and, put up, 25 to 30 points, 35 points, and, stay in the MVP race.
Yeah.
Obviously now he's third. He's definitely fallen out of the contention. But I respect it.
Yeah.
It shows that he's focused on the main goal, which is, getting the ring.
Yeah.
And, let's say they do play the Suns in the first round. After that, they would play between.
They'd be on the top side of the bracket.
So they play between the 1 and 8.
So they would play
Either the Nuggets or either the Timberwolves or
probably
the
Lakers.
Lakers or Warriors.
Lakers or Warriors, yeah.
Yeah. See, that'd be a great second round.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Timberwolves. I think their ceiling is second round this year.
It's hard to say with the Wolves because Anthony's been phenomenal, but with no Cat. With Cat this year, they've been awesome. Cat and Rudy have been awesome together this year.
Defensively, offensively.
Been the number one defensively for the majority of the year. It's really, unless Anthony Edwards has an all-time run, which is possible.
Possible.
Right. I don't know what the potential is of the Wolves Same thing with the Kings. They're just with the injuries and everything. It's kind of
It's just going to be a lot without your starting power
Yeah.
forward. Then Nas Reed's going to be playing more minutes. Kyle Anderson's going to be playing more minutes. It's just, and then, Luka Garza could even see minutes. It's just a lot of.
But in their defense, I mean, having the luxury of bringing Nas, just to slide him into the starting lineup,
But it's just it's the same as an inexperienced thing.
it is because Nas didn't plan to play in last year because he was hurt.
Yeah. And then he never did win the playoffs.
He didn't play in the playoffs either.
And it's just you're putting
Daniels didn't either.
You're putting a guy who hasn't played in the playoffs into a starting position in the playoffs when he's been used to coming off the bench all year and leading the second unit. It's just tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough no matter what for any team, not just the Timberwolves. But what team out of those four, the play-in teams, has the best chance to make a run?
It's the Lakers. I think for me, it's pretty easily the Lakers because they've beaten all the good teams this year. They've beaten, besides Denver, they've beaten everybody. They're healthy. They're playing they just went 5-1.
Reed's got to pick it up.
He's been horrible shooting from three, but I mean, D'Lo's been phenomenal. Rui's been great. I mean, LeBron's what LeBron's been doing the last 3 months has been pretty ridiculous. AD's been phenomenal.
The only thing I see happening going wrong is another D'Lo crumble like last year.
It is possible.
I'm not saying I want that,
Yeah.
but that's just.
I think for D'Lo this year, the difference is his confidence is so much higher, and having the trust from Bron, Darvin Ham, and the whole team.
Darvin Ham's probably the reason they don't make it.
If anything, that's going to be the reason, yes, because it's going to be a rotation problem.
He puts in the worst lineups at the worst time.
It is so frustrating to me when Gabe Vincent hasn't played all year, and when he has, before he got hurt, wasn't good.
Bad shooting splits.
And you decide to bring him right off the bench, and it's ridiculous.
Jackson Hayes needs more minutes.
Their rotation should legitimately be, if Vando doesn't come back, which is a chance for the rest of the year.
He get hurt.
Yeah, and obviously it does. But the 9-man rotations, you've got your starters, D'Lo, Rui, Reeves, Bron, AD. Your bench guys should be Max Christie, Jackson Hayes, Spencer, and I think I forget one more. Torian. Yeah.
TP.
The only
shooter.
Yeah, the only bad thing is you don't really have a backup four, but Rui and LeBron and you all kind of switch minutes anyway, and they do go small ball sometimes, leaving Hayes and.
The thing is, Hayes, he's not a great shooter.
No,
but he's so athletic off the pick and rolls. He's such a good rebounder. He's not a bad defender.
No,
I don't understand why Darvin Ham doesn't give him more minutes. That's why you brought him in.
He plays so hard. It's unbelievable. Like the amount of tap out rebounds he gets, loose balls. He fights so hard on the offensive glass, and there's not a lot he can't catch.
Honestly, Lakers are great. I think I'm going to take the Pelicans. Just make a run before they do, just because. I think
what about B.I. though?
What do you mean, what about B.I.?
Not healthy though. He said it hasn't come back yet.
I think he'll be back.
You think he's going to play at that level though?
I mean, he's going to have to.
Right. I mean, I think they have the two best role players in the league, in my opinion, Murphy and Jones.
I mean, you also got Dyson Daniels, like you said, Herb, Alvarado. They have a lot of depth.
Yeah.
And then just their starting lineup, CJ, Zion, B.I. Jonas has been great this year. He's been great the last 3 years for them.
He's been great his whole career.
They have the pieces.
Yeah.
And
a really good young coach.
Yeah. And
I think, and then they have a city that is waiting to get back to that level. When they had Anthony Davis, and DeMarcus Cousins, they had that hope of the title. Maybe this is the dark horse year to make a run.
The year they were playing a team, 2 years ago, when they took the Suns to 6 games in the first round with no Zion. So
the 2 games they beat the Suns, they beat them in pretty convincing fashion.
Yeah, like 10 plus.
Yeah.
And those are so they have the advantage, being in the 7th and 8th spot, so they can win the first game and be done.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about that. But they also have the advantage if they lose, they can just play again.
Yeah.
But if I'm them, you need to win that first game.
Yes.
Because
you get a couple more days rest.
Then you play and honestly, the Timberwolves is probably the best matchup for them to pull in the first round.
Yeah.
Because
either them or OKC.
Yeah, them and OKC have been pretty even this year when they match up, which is, it's been fun to watch them play against each other. But yeah, I think that's because Timberwolves without Cat, it's going to be hard to stop Zion.
Yeah.
Because he
Even though Cat's not an amazing defender, I mean, that's 6'10", and you can throw at it.
Yeah, 6'10" against 6'8".
Yeah.
But Zion's just so strong that, don't get me wrong, Rudy Gobert is probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year, but he does get because Zion has such a gets so low that he just bumps Rudy out of the way.
Yeah.
And we've seen it, the last 3 years when Zion's healthy, that he just bullies anybody in his way. And Brandon Ingram has obviously proved to be one of the most unguardable players in the league. He's literally just a baby KD.
The mid-ranges that dude makes.
And then CJ has the experience in the playoffs.
Yes.
Years of experience.
Has completely transformed his game from
Same
a
with
guard to a
Jonas.
one.
Jonas has all the experience in the playoffs with the Raptors. And the grid. Well, he wasn't there on the grid when they made the first time, yeah. They have the pieces to do it.
Yeah.
So I think the Lakers have the best chance to make a run from the play-in. Now in the East,
Don't think
Miami,
unless Jimmy Butler goes Super Saiyan.
I mean, I'm not going to doubt it.
No.
And they have a better team this year than they did last year, I think.
And they're finally getting healthy. Got Tyler back.
He's not.
They got Kevin Love back.
Yeah, he didn't play last night. Tyler didn't. He's trying to make a return. They said next week.
Next week.
Yeah, I mean that's 23 points right there.
Yeah.
I mean Duncan's been playing phenomenal. This year has probably been his best year since that 2020 Finals run.
And Terry Rozier's averaging 20 points a game this year.
Terry Rozier had 30 something the other night last night against the Sixers, and Bam's obviously Bam.
Yeah.
He's shooting threes now.
Yeah.
Who called it? It was me. Thomas Bryant, I haven't seen a lot of him. I don't know if he's been healthy.
He's been healthy.
He's on the rotation.
Spot rotations.
Yeah, but if Bam can consistently keep hitting the three, you can slide Thomas to that 5 spot. But as a defender, I'd much rather have
They're starting with Caleb, aren't they?
Yeah, but Caleb's so good off the bench.
Yeah.
He's so good off the bench. But when Tyler comes back, obviously he's going to be starting.
Yeah.
It's going to be Terry, Tyler, Jimmy, Caleb, Bam.
That's a really good starting five.
And then you got Caleb off the bench. You can even start Caleb at the 4 if you wanted to.
And Robinson off the bench.
Yeah, they're dangerous. I mean, so the other playing teams are Atlanta. Don't see them making a run without Trae Young.
It's because that's how bad the Eastern Conference
It's Atlanta,
is.
Chicago.
Chicago isn't that yet.
The Sixers. Sixers are a playing team right now.
Right.
So that's the 4.
I'm looking just so I can get it right. It is Miami, Philly, Chicago, and Atlanta.
Miami and Philly in the first round of the play-in with feed families.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That matchup last night was crazy. Tyrese Maxey. Oh my goodness.
Phenomenal.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm the Sixers and this thing with Joel Embiid doesn't work out, I'm building around Tyrese Maxey.
You think he's got that kind of potential though?
Yeah. I mean, he already dropped 50 this year.
Right. Philly is a half game back of Miami.
Yeah.
And then
But Miami wins 2 games and the Knicks lose, then they can move up.
Well, Miami is only a half game back of Indy.
Indy, that's what it is.
And they're only 3 games back of 5th seed New York.
Yeah. Hey, can we just take a break real quick and shout out the Orlando Magic being a top 4 seed this year?
Ain't nobody talking about the Magic.
And clinching the playoffs?
Yes. Have they put this playoff spot?
They clinched a postseason spot. So, they'll be in the postseason.
No matter what, they're at least
yeah. I mean,
Shout out
Paulo, shout out Jalen Suggs,
Yeah.
Jonathan Isaac. I'm so happy to see him back.
Yeah.
They have been great. Honestly, they're young, but I wouldn't want to see them in the first round.
No, they're so good defensively. They don't
score a lot.
They don't have to.
Yeah, they have some of the lowest scoring games this season.
Yeah. And the only really downside is they don't have an elite 3-point shooter. I mean, Joe Ingles, but it's a spot here and there. I mean,
guess how many threes Markel Fultz hit this season?
Less than 30.
Just guess a number.
40. 2 threes all year. Awesome. Jeez.
But I love Markel.
He plays defense.
He's a good point guard.
Yeah, he just does what
he
he's
gets to the bucket.
Athletic. Kel's gonna go down as a bust, but nobody's gonna remember.
Well,
Nobody's gonna remember that he had a nerve issue in his back and his shoulders.
I don't think he goes down as a bust if they can find success with this young Magic team.
I agree. I can agree with that.
Because if they can make a second round push this year, they bring in a good piece next year.
Right.
They're honestly like one or two pieces away from being that team.
They took Markel off of Philly's hands for nothing.
For absolutely nothing.
They gave him that for a flyer.
Yeah.
And now he's an outstanding
And
defender.
I'm pretty sure they have a decent draft pick this year.
Yeah.
Like they can make something happen.
Absolutely.
But
And then you have Jamal Mosley, who's just got the extension as a head coach. He's phenomenal. Young guy.
Gary Harris off the bench.
Yes.
Like, they have a good squad.
Yes.
But playing wise in the East, Miami and Philly are all I'm looking at. Yeah, Chicago they were good like 3 weeks ago. They won like a crazy run, knocked the Nets out of the play from like the 7th all the way down to the 11th. But they're just so injury, so inconsistent.
Yeah.
If DeMar wants to get a ring in his career, he needs to leave now while he still has time.
Absolutely.
Same with Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
They both need to get out. I don't care if they leave together and go somewhere else, because their play styles do match each other.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen in Chicago.
No.
Their chance was when Lonzo and Alex Caruso were healthy, and they were the 1 seed for that stretch. But it all went downhill when Lonzo got hurt.
I think no matter what happens this offseason or this rest of the season, the Bulls are going to hit the reset button.
The thing is, they haven't made any moves in so long. Since they got that core forward, they haven't made any moves.
Yeah, they don't really have a future. They probably don't have the least visible plan of the future. Like they have, Kobe's been great this year. You got to make a decision about Kobe. Zoe, what you're going to do with him.
So if I'm them, because Kobe's trade value went up this year, a crazy amount. You can get some first for him. You can get a first. You can get 2, 3 firsts for LaVine. You can get 2, 3 firsts for DeMar.
Yeah.
Like these are moves they have to make this offseason.
They should have Caruso.
If they can just move all
they should have traded Caruso at the deadline.
Crazy thing is they just paid Pat Williams so much money.
Yeah.
For no reason. He's not good.
Well, he's been much better this year, but
he asked for such a big contract.
Yes, he did.
He's not worth that.
No, he's not. But he made the improvements this year, and then he gets hurt out the rest of the year. So it's kind of just like, you shot yourself in the foot, essentially.
I just don't like Patrick Williams. I don't like Patrick Williams. If Patrick Williams ever finds out who I am, I'm ready.
Bro,
I don't like him.
Like they did.
But he's just so arrogant for somebody who's not that good. Like he's not a great defender.
No.
He's not good off. He averages like 6 points a game. Like
I'm gonna look up his numbers.
I know when he asked. I don't know if he's averaging right now. I know when he asked for that contract, he was averaging like 6, 7 points a game because everybody was clowning him on Twitter. But Chicago got to do something. They've been so irrelevant for so long. And it's disappointing because
it's embarrassing.
Because they've always been a relevant team since they came into the NBA, basically.
So Patrick Williams is averaging 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and shooting 45% from the field.
They got him a 3-year, $63 million deal or something like that.
Yeah. He had an injury 1 month ago and had surgery out rest of the year. Good. What? Good. Are we wishing injuries now? We're wishing injuries.
I wish it already happened.
Yeah,
I'm just cool. Good for him.
Hope Chester is really good.
Chill out. Don't say that.
What?
He ain't Pat Williams.
Is there a big difference? Kidding.
But no, I think this is probably a really good year for the play-in tournament. Like,
yes.
It's one of the best since it's happened.
Especially because just the West has murdered itself all year.
They eat itself a lot. It reminds me of the 2010 West, where they had the OKC at the 8th seed, but it won 50 games. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I think Clippers are at 48 wins right now, so I think they'll clinch that 50-win season.
Yes.
With 5 games left, something like that.
5 or 6, yeah.
I think they'll clinch that 50-win. The Mavericks, I think they're at 46.
Something like that.
Yeah, I know the Clippers have like a 2 or 3 game lead on them, so
yes.
they could win out and clinch 50. So imagine the top 6 teams or top 5 teams clinch 50. That'd be nuts, and we haven't seen that in a while.
No.
Think about the last couple of years. It's been 1, 2, 3, and then trinkle in 4, 5, 6, or 8. Yeah.
And I think especially this year with how close things are, guys are playing every night, giving everything they got. So it's been great. You're getting great basketball all the time.
You have guys that miss a game, like Chet has not missed a single game this season, knock on wood, which is true. Yeah, he's played every single game this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and to people like this guy said that he wasn't going to pan out because he was going to get hurt, and he's played every single game this year, and he's been good every single game. Yeah.
His shooting has been terrible lately.
Yeah, I mean, he goes from 40, 50, 90 to I think he's like, I want to say he's 40,
like
30.
mid-70s from 3-point line.
I want to say he's like 40, 38, or 48, like 38, and like 79 now.
Yeah.
But I think it's just rookie inconsistencies.
Yeah.
And come playoff time, I think he's mature enough to lock in. I'm so ready to see J-Dub in the playoffs. I'm ready to see this version of Shea in the playoffs.
Shea played 48 minutes a game.
We haven't seen Shea in the playoffs since the bubble.
He was what, 22 years old, 21 years old?
And he played good. Played really good.
Right, he was like, he's been in the league like 2 years. Come on now.
2 years? That's it? It's his first time. That's not, it wasn't his first time in the playoffs. So he played his rookie year against the Warriors in the first round when they almost.
Did he play in that series?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
I remember because all I remember was Pat Bev, Gallinari, Will, Montrez.
That team was so crazy.
For whatever
I can't
reason,
believe they took that Warriors team that far.
They were so good.
They were down 3-0
Yeah.
and then pushed to 6.
Yeah.
It was so crazy if they did that. I was praying they were going to pull out that series.
That is hilarious.
Because was that the year they had, was Paul George and Kawhi? They were on the team.
No, they were on the team.
Yeah.
They were on the team.
Yeah, that's the year Kawhi won with Toronto.
Yeah.
That's why everybody thought, like, oh my gosh, if Kawhi and PG would have stayed healthy, obviously, the next year, they probably won it all. But, like, I could see the vision of the Clippers. Like, we just took the best team in the league to 6 games, and we had brought in 2 All-Stars, one who's coming off a championship run, one who's coming off an MVP season.
Yeah.
I can see why they were like, this is it.
Well, they got it this year.
This year, they could do it.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the Clippers. I was the OKC for life.
He's a Russ fan.
I am. I'm a Russ fan, PG fan, Kawhi fan.
I'm a PG fan.
Kawhi fan. I'm a Zubac fan.
Zoo.
I'm a Daniel Tice fan. I'm a Terrence fan.
Stop it.
I'm a Mir.
He's been horrible this year.
He was bad.
He's been pretty bad all year.
Recently, it's been worse.
Yeah.
I'm a Amir Coffee fan.
He should take
Josh Primo off the bench.
He's not even playing.
Still on the team.
You know why he's
Don't say that. Don't say that. Why would you say that?
I'm kidding.
And then do not condone anything that
Josh
Primo did.
No, we don't.
We're not giving out any Josh Primo shout-outs.
You say you're a fan.
I'm not. I'm sorry, Josh. I'm not a fan. Fan of Josh Giddey. Josh.
If the Clippers do win it all this year, what does that do? Not only, I mean, that probably, we know what they'll do for Kawhi.
I think it solidifies Kawhi as a top 5 small forward.
What does that do for Paul George, though?
In what terms? Because
it's hard to say.
I think he's Hall of Fame no matter what.
He's got all the first team.
Win or ring or not, he's making the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
The 4 All-Stars on that team, winner will lose another ring, they're all going to be Hall of Fame players.
Yeah.
First ballot, probably.
3 of them would get their first.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Majority of the whole team would basically get their first.
The only ones that wouldn't is Powell and Kawhi.
Yeah.
Right?
Who'd you say before Kawhi?
Powell. He was on the Raptors.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's the only 2, right? That won the ring.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, they don't have any weird bets. Right?
No, they don't.
Yeah, so I mean, for PG, I think he probably, depending on how big an impact he has in the playoffs, because we've seen Paul George crumble in the playoffs. We've seen Paul George be phenomenal in the playoffs. We've seen both sides of it. So he can fine-tune his pitch come playoff time and get things right. I mean, if he wins a ring, does he move in, top 10 small forward of all time?
Man,
He doesn't have a lot of accolades besides first teams and some defensive teams. All-stars.
Man, I don't know.
He was top 2 in MVP voting at one point.
Right?
He was top 3 in Defensive Player of the Year voting.
If he goes to the finals and he wins the finals and he wins the finals MVP,
I can see that.
and that's all in his wheelhouse. He can absolutely do it. That, I think, would take him to that next level echelon of
He's probably like a, top 20 small.
Oh, I think he is already.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's
I definitely make top 15.
Yeah,
top 12.
Yeah, that's debatable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is he moving the top 10 with that ring?
Definitely an argument there. I'd have to sit down and look at it, but I think
Kawhi's right outside.
Kawhi's one of the
looking in.
75 best of all time.
Kawhi's right outside that top 5 looking in right now.
Yeah.
2 rings, 2 Finals MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, the All-Star MVP twice, I think. I think it's once. Once. Multiple All-Star appearances, multiple All-Defensive Team appearances, multiple All-NBA appearances. There's not a lot of guys that do better than he does that position.
No.
So if he wins this ring, I think he's top 5 all time in small forward. But what does it do for James Harden?
It depends on what
if James Harden
plays.
Okay, let's say James Harden wins the ring. He averages 20 and 10 for the playoffs, 20 points, 10 assists, right? Somewhere in that. Let's say 17 to 20 points, 8 to 10 assists a game in the playoffs. Is he already a top 10 shooting guard of all time? Top 10? I think he's already there.
Pushing top 5?
Pushing top 5.
If he wins the ring and plays that well, I think he's absolutely.
I don't think he'll ever be top 3.
No, just because D-Wade, Kobe,
and Jordan.
Yeah,
it's always going to be Jordan, Kobe, Wade.
Yeah.
And then, so AI is in my top 5 shooting guards of all time.
I think Harden's top 5 is higher than Allen Iverson anyway.
Right now?
Yeah. Honestly.
The only reason I say he's not is because AI willed his team to the finals.
They did do that.
Pulled one game against
one of the greatest teams ever since.
Pulled one game against the Lakers, ended up going 16-1 in the playoffs. Only team to beat him in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So that's because James Harden hasn't been able to do that for one of his teams yet. So that's why I put AI over him. AI was a good defender too. He was a decent defender.
It'd been different if Harden his MVP year had gotten that team to the finals. At least got him to the finals.
And AI has the MVP.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I have him over. So do you put Clay over James Harden because of all Clay's accomplishments?
No. As much as I love Clay,
Clay's made a defensive team.
He has. I don't. As much as Clay has accomplished,
pretty sure he's been 3rd-team All-NBA too at one point.
Yes. I think Clay is borderline top 10.
Wow, he's not top
10. The only reason I say that is because I don't think he's a clear. The rest of those guys are all number one guys.
I can see that.
But I mean, like I said, but Clay just off accomplishments, he's one of the easiest scheme fits.
Legacy-wise.
Yeah. Clay definitely can just be there and be like, I can't argue that. And be like, look what he's done.
4 rings.
Yeah, exactly.
4 rings in 5 years.
One of the best shooters of all time.
Yeah, top 10 all time in shooting.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't. It's just like if I saw it there, if someone was to tell me Clay's the top 5 shooting guard of all time, I'd be like, okay. I'm not gonna sit there and scream at you and say no.
Ray Allen's a top 10 shooting guard of all time.
Absolutely.
Try to make a borderline top 8.
Yeah.
It's not crazy.
No.
I mean, yeah, when he was #1 guy, they got to the Western Conference Finals, lost to the Sixers, going on to lose to the Lakers. Mm-hmm. Ray was him in his prime. Even all the way up to when he was on Seattle.
Yeah.
He was him. He just took the back seat in Miami and was like, I'm just going to call the bench and shoot.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
What he did.
People think that's all he's ever done. If you go back and watch his highlights, he has some of the craziest dunks. He was in a dunk contest.
Yeah.
He has some of the craziest posters.
Jesus.
That right there for a reason. One of my favorite players of all time. But, yeah, I don't know if James Harden he definitely moves in the top 5 shooting guards of all time if he wins a ring.
I agree.
On good numbers.
Yes.
If he's taking a back seat, not doing much, which sucks to say because he doesn't have to have good numbers for them to win.
Because the team is that good.
It sucks to say that. It's not his fault.
No.
But if he has bad shooting splits, then that is his fault.
It is his fault.
And then for Russ, obviously, he wins this ring. He's coming off. I could see them starting him a couple games in the playoffs. Here's why. Experience.
Who's their starting lineup right now?
Terrence Mann's in there.
Okay.
Because of experience alone.
Yeah.
I mean, Terrence Mann does have playoff experience. He was a number 2 option when Kawhi went out, when they played the Jazz. Had a crazy dunk on Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, if I'm playing another veteran point guard, I think defensively, I probably would rather have Russ there.
I agree.
And I mean, we seen what he did in the playoffs last year.
He was phenomenal.
Playoff Russ is just a different breed. Whether he's coming off the bench, whether he's starting. And he performed better than Terrence Mann last year, that's for sure.
Yes, by pretty big margins.
Honestly, I'd rather have playoff Norman Powell than playoff Terrence Mann.
Yeah, I would say that pretty comfortably too.
Based on he had 48 last year.
Right, and Terrence Mann can still, even though he hasn't had a great year by any stretch, he's been pretty bad this year. I mean, he's had big moments in the playoffs before, so why can't he be a playoff riser and get back to being a good 3D wing and doing what he can do? And then it makes him that much more dangerous.
Clippers have so much depth.
Yeah.
That's why they're so scary. Because, God, you know who would have been a great fit for them off the bench? Terry Rozier. Can you imagine him coming off that Clippers bench? Oh my God.
Oh man, I got to guard 3-4 guys that can score 25 a game, and then there's a point guard that can off the bench that can do the exact same damn thing.
Oh my God, that's a move they could have made too. They had the pieces to make that trade.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Oh, that's so. I just thought about that. That's so. Oh, that's so great. But
Terry's so tough.
Oh, he's so tough. But Clippers are so dangerous with their depth. I mean,
If they
bring it, but the fact that Plumlee's healthy now, Tyus isn't playing as much.
No.
But come playoff time, he's gonna play.
Do you think Zoo's gonna get? Zoo's problem is he can't defend
Pick
pick
and
and roll.
rolls.
Pick and roll defense is terrible.
If they had a good pick and roll defender against the Suns,
Imagine they had Gafford.
even if they had Tyus last year, in the playoffs,
Yeah.
they didn't have Plumlee yet, did they? Was that this year? They made that move last year.
I think they did last because he played with them before, left, and then came back.
I didn't think he was in the playoffs with them last year.
No, he wasn't. He was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
So I mean,
left.
because Plumlee's a good pick and roll defender.
He's phenomenal.
Tyus
He's
is a
strong.
good pick and roll defender because he's quick.
Yeah, and Plumlee can jump too.
Tyus and Plumlee, they can space the floor. Tyus more than Plumlee.
Yeah, Plumlee definitely.
Plumlee can in the mid post because his shot may look disgusting.
True lefty.
It goes in.
He goes in.
And
Probably the craziest free throw routine I've ever seen in my life.
probably. But I think that's why Tyus is getting a lot of playing time in the playoffs because he can space the floor.
He's got experience in playoffs.
If you had a good pick and roll defender last year, there's a good chance they make it out of the first round against the Suns. Because
Absolutely.
the problem was you had Jock Landale coming up, setting a pick and roll screen on Devin Booker, and you're getting, Russ or Norm on the Jock, which, hey, that's fine. They can handle that. But you have Zoom coming up, trying to contest. Because if you're Zubac against Devin Booker,
You don't have the speed equipment.
that's what I'm saying. Do you give up the 3 before you let him drive?
But I mean, when it's
Because that's what he was doing.
Right.
He would wait till Devin Booker's already in shooting motions. NBA players, if they're already up and you're not contested yet, the shot's going in.
yeah, you can't.
You're not affecting him.
No.
And he's already jumping, and I'm just like, if you're going to get out there and defend the 3-point line, take a step and get out
You have
there.
to hedge it so hard and force
And he's
it.
not fast enough.
No.
So that's why I think Daniel Tice and Plumlee are going to be the 2 key players for them
Yeah.
in defense.
I would be surprised if the Clippers decide to go small ball.
They do it, PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
It worked last night against the Nuggets because they had PJ guarding Jokic.
Yeah.
The game winner was missed on PJ. And the thing about PJ, he's small. He
Yeah.
is a bulldog on
Yeah.
defense. He does
Make fun of PJ all you want offensively, but I'm not going to question the heart.
He's so stationary.
Yeah.
Like, he's so immovable on defense because he's at such a low base.
Yes.
He's strong.
6'5", but he's like 240.
Yeah, and he's taking those hits from 7'1" Jokic, who's 280,
Yeah.
somewhere in that realm.
Yeah.
And he's taking those hits, and come
He
play
ain't
time,
taking punishment.
and
He
then just
did
come
you.
play all the time. He's probably going to hit those shots.
Yeah.
Come play all the time, PJ Tucker's going to hit those.
He's done it
plays.
before.
we seen how good he was for the Rockets.
The Bucks.
He's one of the biggest reasons they made it and won the finals that year.
Yeah.
If he wasn't guarded, I mean, KD did have 50 on him. Don't get me wrong.
He was hard.
But it was a tough 50. It wasn't like they just handed it to him.
No.
I mean, we seen how tired they both were at the game. KD gave PJ the respect.
PJ's one of those guys like Kobe Bryant talks about Tony Allen. He's like, what's one guy you can go up against? You know, he keeps coming back. It's not is Tony Allen. But PJ's gonna do the same thing.
You know who, like, kind of reminds me of PJ Tucker's a little more talented offensively?
Give me a team.
Thunder.
Cambridge.
Lou Dort.
Oh.
Lou Dort.
Lou's better inside scorer.
That's what I'm saying. Lou Dort gives me PJ Tucker vibes because
But
I
same
thought
size.
it's better offensively,
Yeah.
but how they play defensively, that's what it reminds me of. They have the same builds.
Yeah.
Both super jacked and about 6'6", 6'5". Both Bulldogs on defense.
Yeah.
I think that's a good comparison for Lou Dort. Just offensively, he's obviously more gifted.
Yeah.
Probably a little more athletic.
He's more
PJ
athletic
Tucker.
too, yeah.
PJ Tucker in his younger days, though, he was getting up.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I went and watched because I didn't know he played overseas.
Yes.
And that's where he started at. And I went and watched some of those clips. Dude was putting everybody in a body bag. It was ridiculous what he was doing over there.
Yeah.
And he comes over back to NBA and he's just
Shoot threes.
corner three. Same with Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon's crazy athletic.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I didn't see it. I have to go back and watch some old stuff.
I was watching Aaron Gordon college highlight tapes from Indiana.
Oh, it's
Pretty
so
ridiculous.
tough.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be a big. God, it sucked the Clippers lost him.
Yeah.
Sucks big time. He was a big part of their playoffs last year.
Would you think he'd be a six-man or would it still be Russ?
I think it's still. I think Eric
Would
Gordon.
Aaron Gordon start over man? No?
Because I think Norm's better than Eric Gordon.
I agree.
So, if you're Ty Lue has good rotations. At first, he wasn't. Ty Lue sucked the first half of the season for rotations.
Yeah.
Definitely gotten better now. One thing I don't agree with, I think Russ should be in the game the final, not the whole final 5 minutes, but I think he has to touch the court in those crunch times because defense.
Yeah.
And because he's a good decision maker, he's going to get the ball to PG and Kawhi. I don't think you can trust the small ball lineup with PJ Tucker and then Terrence Mann to do that.
No.
I think come playoff
He's not
time,
consistent.
I think come playoff time we're going to see a lot of rotation switches with the Clippers.
I do too.
And James and Russ need to be on the court together all the time.
They're phenomenal
They
chemistry.
play so great together. I seen Russ come through a double, like, there was one guy in the short corner and the guy in the corner guarding Russ. Russ makes the back cut. James Harden finds him on the backside of the lob. Like, we seen that on Houston when they were together.
Yeah.
And that was 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So long ago.
It's pretty crazy.
Gosh.
Pretty crazy.
Wow. And they were the highest scoring duo in the league at
Yes.
that time. I think Russ was averaging 27 and James Harden was averaging 32 or something like that.
Yeah.
If Russ got more, he had 12 points off the bench last night in like 12 minutes. If he's getting more minutes a game, his numbers are going to go up.
Yeah.
But, so, I think Clippers is going to be so fun to watch. This is going to be the most entertaining playoffs in a long time. Especially because everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
Everybody's healthy. Shea and Jada were only sitting to concern themselves for playoffs because there's no way we're going to drop out of the top three. We're not going to drop out of the top three. It's literally impossible, I think.
Yeah.
Because there's five games left and we're at 53 wins and we're at 52. We're at 53. Now we're at 53. And Clippers are at 48. So
they win tonight, you know.
Who they play tonight?
Indy.
Oh, duh. But yeah, this is going to be so entertaining to watch. The play-in, starting with the play-in, is going to be great. Going to the playoffs, so ready for the playoffs to start.
Yeah.
I'm like almost can't contain my excitement because it's both East and West is going to be so fun to watch. But jumping, into the All NBA teams, we talked about that a little bit. Who do you think? Because 65 game minimum. Positionless. That's a fact.
That's the biggest thing I think that's benefited this.
The positionless?
Yes.
I think the 65 games is. Because you have guys like Donovan Mitchell,
I didn't
Joel
like-
Embiid.
I didn't like the rule at first, the 65 game minimum, but now that I've seen the year play out and guys are playing more, I definitely think it helps.
Because, we've seen LeBron and AD play more games this year than they have in the last
This is the
3
first time AD has played 70 plus games since 2018.
And that just makes you think, like, how many of his injuries were just him just
I think Honestly,
I'm not saying all of them, but I feel like there was a lot of times where he could have played when he didn't.
everybody though.
Well, yeah, but he's a main focus for it.
Because people made the joke about street clothes.
David Davis.
But what Anthony Davis healthy, is unfreaking believable.
Oh yeah.
Can't shoot threes anymore. But oh well. But
for him, I want to take at least 10 threes a game.
no, you don't. This isn't 2021. This isn't 2020 anymore where you can do that. But defensively, I really think he's one of the best rim protectors of all time.
All time.
He really just
He's a great
the impact statistics.
He's going to make a defensive team this year.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether it's first or second.
He should be top 3 in DPOI voting. He's been that good.
I'm just thinking about the defenders.
Gobert.
Obviously, Gobert and Wemby. Okay. The reason I say this.
I'm gonna say Chet's over here, aren't you? Okay.
Because
That's saying some BS.
No. I think you won't think this is crazy.
Okay,
We've talked about this before.
Okay.
I think Bam.
Bam is better. Bam is only better on the rim better.
Exactly. And you know how I feel about the Defensive Player of the Year award?
You gotta do both.
You have to do both. Because I think that's how it should be judged. It's not post defender of the year. It's not perimeter defender of the year. It's defensive player of the year.
I'm just asking, you really expect Rudy Gobert to be able to guard Dame?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I expect him to, but I think to be known as a defensive player of the year, you should be able to guard both sides.
We'll say though,
I think you should be able to guard perimeter and.
because last year in the playoffs, when Curry was trying to had like 3 shots in a row in that playoff game, AD guarded him the whole time and made him take tough shots.
I mean, we can look back on the 2016 finals. Kevin Love.
Chasing Curry down.
Exactly. And those are guys that are just not talked about as great defenders.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Bam, I think that's why Jaren probably that's why Jaren gets talked about a lot, because he can guard the perimeter.
Yes.
Cat can guard both, not exceptionally guard both, but he can guard both.
But he can do it.
Wemby can guard both. Chet can guard both.
Yes.
I'm not saying they should win Defensive Player of the Year, but I think in the future, it's there.
Yeah.
I think Marcus Smart, he's a mid-post defender. Like he's not deep post, but he can guard the mid.
He takes a lot of charges.
He's physical.
Yeah.
And then he also locking up on the perimeter. I don't think that was a bad pick for Defensive Player of the Year.
No, I don't either.
I think he deserved it.
Yeah.
That's why I like guys like Lou Dort and Shea, because they battle in the posts, but they're also going to lock Jade up.
Yeah.
They're going to battle on the Drew Holiday.
Drew is phenomenal.
I'm trying to think, like Kawhi Leonard and Draymond are always good picks when they win Defensive Player of the Year because they can guard both.
Some of the best defense I've ever watched was that 2021 finals. Drew guarding Chris Paul and Devin Booker for 94 feet.
Yeah, the strip and lob to Giannis.
He's just Drew.
Giannis, another person who can guard both.
Yes.
That's why I don't ever buy in on Rudy when he has 3 of them now, right?
Yes.
That's why I just can't buy in on him, because he sucks on the perimeter. It's bad.
Mostly, I think he'd be different if he was more gifted athlete.
He just has bad feet.
He does have bad feet.
He's slow.
He is slow.
He's not athletic.
It's weird, like he's slow, but it's like he's weirdly agile in a way.
He has good, so in the post, when he's moving around, he has good side-to-side movement when it comes to defending the post.
Yeah.
But I think guards,
So you put him in space.
and I think guards with and talented 3 and 4s are just so fast and are just more agile.
Yeah.
And that's why that's the only reason that I say Bam should be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, because he's a good perimeter defender.
Yeah.
He's strong as hell on the inside. He's probably one of the strongest guys in the league.
No, absolutely.
If I'm picking somebody to be the anchor of my defense, I'm taking Bam. Just because of not just because of his skills, but because of his mindset, his culture. I think Rudy Gobert gets himself down a lot to where he doesn't play great. I think a lot of that comes from the media, honestly.
Yeah.
But Bam, I think,
so
is who pushes AD out for me.
Okay.
That's why that wasn't crazy.
No, that's not. I can see the argument.
So back to the all-NBA teams. What does your first? We're not gonna do third teams, just too much, and nobody really cares about the third team.
Yeah.
Who's your first and second team?
It is let me read it right. My first team: Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum, Nikola Jokic,
Shea, and Giannis.
That's mine as well. I think that should be
Kind of consensus.
undisputed
Top 5.
top 5.
My
Even that's even like position-wise, that's almost correct.
my second team is LeBron, Ant, Jalen Brunson, Curry, and
Okay, so mine that I have: Ant, Kawhi, AD, Sabonis, and Zion.
No Bron?
No Brown for me this year.
No, really? Zion over Bron? Really?
The reason is because the media. I think it's a media thing for me because the media obviously loves LeBron.
Well, obviously.
The media
But he's
completely.
been that good.
Yes, but the media has completely torn down Zion game after game. Whether he plays good, whether he hasn't had a bad game this year, and they've called him overweight. They called him slow.
Lazy.
Dude is averaging 25 points a game on some of the best shooting splits that we've seen.
Can't shoot threes, though.
No, but that's not what he does.
No.
But his shooting splits from 15 feet in are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And nobody can stop him.
Physically, no one-on-one.
I think he would be the one I could change out for Braun.
Okay.
But that's just mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I was borderline, almost put KD over Brunson, but what Brunson has done since Anunoby and Randall not being out the whole year, keeping them afloat as a 5th seed, he's been unbelievable.
Sabonis got to make it at least. He's on my second team.
Imagine he don't make it.
If he doesn't make an All-NBA team, there's got to be some vendetta against him.
Imagine he doesn't make it.
It's in what world does he not though?
He would be on my 3rd team.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys you can interchange
Yeah.
for sure.
He would
I
definitely
almost,
be on my 3rd team.
I almost put Braun over AD and put AD on the 3rd team
Okay.
because Sabonis in their matchups has outplayed AD. It's
Okay.
the only reason why.
Okay.
Yeah. But awards again. That's affected the 65 game minimum has affected. It's been MVP. We've talked about almost every episode. The MVP awards. Who is your final MVP pick of this? There's 5 games. Not a lot is going to change in those last 4 games.
It's Jokic.
SGA isn't going to get it.
No.
If he played the last 4 games he missed, the chance is still there because they probably win 2 out of those 3 games.
Right.
I'm not going to say for sure they beat the Celtics, but
They could probably beat Philly.
but they'll for sure beat Philly with Shea and J-Dub. They already beat the Knicks without him. So
No, they beat the Knicks
without Shea.
No,
Or Shea played the game winner.
Yeah.
No, they both played. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both played.
They just didn't play against Philly.
Philly or Celtics. Yeah.
Or Celtics, yeah.
Yeah, those games are probably very winnable
Yeah.
with them, and Shea probably puts up good numbers. And I think if he would have been playing recently, no doubt he's still 1 and 2 with Jokic. And my thing all year has been if OKC finished above them in seeding, he deserves it. They have still a chance they can finish above them in seeding, but undoubtedly, not undoubtedly, because Luka has been phenomenal, and they went from the
Bottom of the
barrel to now the 5th seed.
Yeah.
And him and Kyrie, oh my gosh. I would want to see him in the 1st round.
When Luka says he likes to be the number 2 to Kawhi or to Kyrie, that should terrify you.
Kyrie's been phenomenal since All-Star break.
He's been unbelievable. The team has been so much better.
Well, yeah, they had the best trade deadline of any
phenomenal,
team.
yeah.
PJ Washington hit 5 threes last night.
Yeah.
And then
Gafford
almost broke the record for most consecutive makes.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I think it's Jokic.
And then when Tim Hardaway decides to play like Jesus Christ one day.
I think he's just not comfortable with coming off the bench. I think it's a weird thing for him. He's been a starter his whole career, basically.
What's been kind of the matter saving grace is defensively is Derrick Jones Jr.
You know who else?
Dante Exum.
Dante Exum.
If there was, he's not gonna win Most Improved, but dude was out of the league back playing in Australia.
For what, 3 years?
Yeah, went back to Australia.
Shout out Mark Cuban.
Yeah,
Shout out Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban. He's basically the GM of that team.
he has a basketball mind.
Yeah.
People won't recognize him for that, but he does.
Yeah,
He knows ball.
Because he plays it like a business.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. He said that he would rather divorce his wife than trade Luka. Have you seen the shots that Luka's been hitting lately? Did you see that and then the pump fake step into the? How do you guard that?
And then the pregame shot where he threw
Off the Jumbotron?
Yeah, off the Jumbotron.
How do you guard that? You can't.
Is that out of bounds? Does that count as out of bounds?
You literally can't guard him. It's impossible.
You can't speed him. Everybody's like, oh, he's so slow, speed him up. No.
He plays his own pace.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him so, that's what makes Jokic so great. That's what makes Shea so great. That's what makes Jason Tatum so great.
That's what I think Luka's playmaking skills remind me so much of Braun.
Yeah.
Because just the floor general wise, and then you can literally make any pass in the world.
I think if there's a world, the only world where the only world where Luka wins MVP is if they win out the last 5 games, somehow make a push into the top 4. Maybe they're not going to make top 3; it's impossible. But if they hit the top 4, because OKC, like I said, 53 wins, they have 45. There's not enough games in the season left for that.
Right.
But they can make the 4 seed, and then Luka obviously puts up amazing numbers, and then that's the only world that I can see him pushing Jokic out. And if the Nuggets lose 2 games,
Right. So Dallas is they could get past
pass
LA, but there are 6 wins behind OKC.
yeah,
Because they have 46 and OKC is 52.
yeah. And LA's at what,
48.
Yeah, it's 48. LA can pass OKC.
48 wins and you're in the bottom of the West. Makes a lot of sense.
I mean, you're the 4 seed. I wouldn't really.
Well, I mean, like for other teams.
I
mean, like
the difference between the East and the West is crazy. Like the Lakers are just as far behind the Timberwolves as the Bucks are the Celtics, which the East is so weak.
Yeah.
They're not even just. They're good teams. It's just not competitive.
It's just not competitive.
Like they just.
Because the bottom of the bottom in the East is just that much worse than everywhere else in the West.
Yeah, 10 through 6 in the East doesn't compete with 5 through 1.
Because Houston absolutely clears every team. Even San Antonio, when fully healthy, fully clears, I think, any team in bottom tier in the East, right?
You mean outside playing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Rockets for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not even close.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. I would even say. So there's. I'm trying to think. All
You
these
get Detroit, Charlotte,
Wizards.
Wizards. That's about it.
Yeah, and then in the West it's Rockets,
Spurs,
and Grizzlies. I think with no Ja Morant help.
Got Dez and Jaren.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that the East is just that weak on the bottom. And the East have made a good run, 2 years ago, where they were looking like they were
The better team, better conference.
They'll never top the West. Never.
Probably not.
But
There's too many big markets in the West.
yeah, I think if the NBA expands, which they're going to,
What team? If let's say
New Orleans is going to the East.
so, okay, so
In Memphis.
in Memphis, so that means you need
You're
2
going to bring
teams
in,
in the West.
Vegas and Seattle.
Vegas and Seattle.
So it's an even 18 teams on Earth.
Is it 18?
Yeah, there's 16 on each side, right?
No, it's 15.
15.
It's 15 because in
30.
NFL it's 32 teams.
Yeah. So you have an even 17 teams on both sides.
I think 2 cities in the East that could use an NFL or NBA
It's
team.
Nashville.
Just because I don't know that. Well, because Nashville, just because Memphis is so big.
That's what I'm saying. I think the market is just bigger in Nashville, probably.
Probably. I think I told my dad this, and he didn't really agree, but I think Pittsburgh, because you have NFL and NFL, NHL there, and MLB, the Pirates.
Mhm.
I also think Jacksonville could use one.
I don't think Florida needs another team.
Florida would be what, the 4th team in Florida? Miami, Orlando.
That's it.
That's it. I'll be 13.
I don't think they need a third team. I don't think they need a third team.
What other place realistically in the East could get a team? Go back to Jersey?
Nah, because
Because
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn is there, or is connected. New York's already got 2.
I mean,
Unless Buffalo gets one,
North Carolina has a team. Why don't you go South Carolina as a team?
I just don't know. I don't think there's a.
I think
team.
Alabama. Alabama would be a good market for a team.
I think so.
I mean, Georgia has one.
Georgia does have one.
Now kind of complete the little triangle right there.
I keep forgetting. Like for some reason in my head, the Wizards is in DC.
Yeah.
That's what because I was like, oh, the DC should get a team. That's a big market. And
Yeah.
they already got one.
But Memphis should not be in the West. They're so far out. Like New Orleans at least is like right there on the edge.
Yeah.
But if we pick up Vegas and Seattle like it's supposed to, then there's no other choice.
How does that even work with like expansion teams and then like there's team players or there's franchises starting their teams out?
So you have every team besides the expansion ones, obviously. You get to protect 10 players on your roster.
Oh.
And the other 5 just go into an expansion draft.
Okay.
It's like 8 to 10 you can protect.
Okay.
So if you think about it, like teams like
Gotta make some sacrifices.
Clippers,
Yeah.
10 players isn't a lot. That's a lot.
It fills up fast.
Yeah.
Lakers, like
OKC.
the Wolves, like even like younger teams that are trying to.
If they brought in, obviously Vegas is going to come in before Seattle, but if they brought in both at the same time, they may even drop it to protect 5 players. I don't know.
It'd be so great for Seattle to get a team again.
Yeah, they want it, and then Kevin Durant, even said that they need it back, and then that he would love to return. So I mean, that should be something interesting. Imagine like KD's on the Suns still, and like the Seattle team comes in, and they're like, KD, we're gonna protect you, and he's like, nah, let me go. I'd be pissed.
They'd be like, huh?
I'd be like, what?
Frank-
Imagine
Frank
he
Vogel.
leaves, goes back to Seattle, wins a ring on his own. Textbook script right there.
Frank Vogel would look at it, he's like, when Kevin Durant tells him no, let me go. Frank Vogel, huh? What are you talking
I
about?
can't stand Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel is so bad. Battle Lakers is bad now. But kind of wrap things up here. We're gonna do a closing segment. New closing segment. I see video like this on TikTok. We did a couple last night, but I'm gonna give you a stat.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta give me a top 10 in this stat. So do you want to go first? Or you want me to go? What stat did you have?
I had free throw percentage, top 10 free throw
Steals per game. So you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Do you want to guess first?
I'll guess first.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead. Top 10.
Shay's number 1.
Okay.
How
Number 1 with 2.1.
many rookies on this list?
Nope.
No. Okay. I was thinking I had the Twins in my head.
One's very surprising. One's gonna be very surprising.
Trae Young,
Mm-mm.
DeJounte Murray.
Jonathan Murray's number 9, but yeah, he's there.
Let's see. This is hard. Kawhi.
Kawhi is number 5.
Paul George.
Paul George number 6.
Russ.
Russ is not even top 20. Hasn't played on. He's played.
But Dante.
DiVincenzo?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. 14. So you got number 1, you said Shea. He's number 1. 5 and 6 is Kawhi and Paul George. And then 9 was DeJounte. So you're missing 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, and 10.
Boy. Is there anyone on here that I probably just won't ever get?
Like, not well known?
Yeah.
Nah, I think you can guess everybody on here. One's just very surprising. I didn't expect him to be on here.
Okay. Man. Jeez.
A lot of Western Conference players. I can give you that.
No. Ant.
He is number 16.
Okay. Jay McDaniels.
No, I don't think he's played enough games to be in the top.
What is it? Is there a threshold?
No, I was just saying he's been hurt a lot.
I got you.
Jaden McDaniels is not even top 20.
Interesting.
He's not even top 30.
That's actually kind of great.
He's not.
Jonathan Kuminga.
No. Jaden McDaniels is not even top 40.
That's wild, considering how elite of a defender he is. But he's been hurt on and off this year, so. Jada.
Jada is number 38.
Damn.
This is surprising after it be low.
This is hard. I feel like I just looked at this list.
You probably did. You probably tried to cheat.
No, I did. I swear I didn't look. I honor system, I didn't look. But like Thunder Game, I went to Thunder Game a week ago, and I feel like I just saw this because they show it.
Actually, he's played 71 games. Everybody on this list, besides one, has played at least 65 games.
That doesn't really help me. That doesn't really help me.
I mean, it does.
Is everybody on the? Is everyone? No, because Jonte was.
Or you can say
I was
all-star.
All-star, yeah.
There's like,
What about Jalen Suggs?
Jalen Suggs number 8.
Hey, here we go. Here we go. What about? Let me see. Is Ben Mathurin on this list?
He's top 20.
Okay. Damn.
You guessed all but one
Is there
Eastern
like
Conference player. The
all
rest
but
are
one
West.
Eastern Conference
Only
player?
one Eastern Conference player left.
Is Dame on this list?
Dame is not. Dame is not even top 25.
I figured that. I feel like there's some guys who be sneaking on this list.
That's true.
Um,
They're all playoff teams besides 2. Well, I'm talking about playing as well. So there's only one person on this list.
oh my goodness.
He's on a pretty trash team. He's a pretty trash player.
Woo!
He's pretty trash offensively.
Pretty trash offensively.
Like maybe one of the worst offensive players in the league.
That's why the Twins keep popping in my head, but they're not. Man, this is crazy. I don't know. Man. Is there like a superstar left on this list?
So let me see. You guess Shea.
Yeah.
You guess
PG Kawhi.
Kawhi, PG. You guess Suggs, and you guess Murray. So yeah, there's a superstar here.
Is Aaron Gordon on this list?
Aaron Gordon not?
Gary Payton the second.
No, you are so way off.
What?
You're guessing guys that aren't even top 50.
What?
Come on, get that ball knowledge out.
I'm trying.
I'm telling you, this guy is one of the worst offensive players probably ever.
Oh my gosh. Worst offensive players ever.
Plays in the West, bottom team in the West. Only team left that's not even in the play-in.
Not even in the play. So him. Well, Sohan's pretty bad.
This guy's worse.
What? He's not even on a play-in team?
Mm-hmm.
So he's gotta be on Houston, San Antonio, or Memphis.
Or Portland.
Scoot Henderson.
This guy is worse offensively. He played in the East 2 years ago.
Played in the East 2 years ago.
He was on the Sixers 2 years ago.
He's horrible offensively.
Spray painted his name on the wall before he left Philly.
What?
Spray painted his name.
I don't know what. I've never even heard that.
There's a video of it.
What?
He spray painted his name on the wall
What?
in Philly.
It's not. I'm not Pat Bev.
No, this guy plays in the West.
I know. That's why I'm just like
Come on, man.
playing on Philly 2 years ago.
Horrendous offensive player.
PJ Tucker.
No. He's not even on a playing team.
So it's got to be Houston, Memphis, or San Antonio.
I can tell you, it's not Houston or San Antonio. You guys look the Blazers.
Matisse Thybulle.
There you go. Oh my gosh.
Damn it. Matisse Thybulle.
So you said Shea, Matisse, Kawhi, PG, Suggs, and Murray. So you're missing number 10, number 7, number 4, and number 2.
Oh.
2, 4, 7, and 10.
Okay. Is Isaac Okoro. There's still a superstar left on this list.
That's a surprising superstar.
Surprising superstar.
Like, it's surprising if they're on this list.
So that probably means they're not good defensively.
You have called them one of the worst defenders in the league.
Like, not Trey.
Not Trey. He's on a playoff team in the West.
On a playoff team in the West. What the hell? I feel like it's so obvious, isn't it?
It's so obvious.
Is it?
Somebody gonna watch this and be like, man.
I'm sorry. I'm blanking. I'm not good at tests.
Oh my goodness. Superstar, horrible defender.
Obviously, it's not that bad. He's top 7 in steals.
Right. It's not Ja.
Nah, I'm just that has nothing to do with this.
Motherfucker.
It's just stuck in my head.
Stop it. Stop. I lose a funny song.
As many times as I see that song.
Play the song.
As many times I see that song on social media.
What's more annoying, like the beat or play the song?
You would think the Magic are undefeated as many times as I see that song. Probably like, I'd rather hear the Orlando Magic song. That's a classic.
I hate like the beat. Where's Steph?
On a playoff team, top 5.
Top 5.
You got no superstars in the top 5 teams. I can go through a name if you want me to. Ant, Rudy, Denver is Jokic and Jamal, OKC.
Jamal's not on that list.
Shea, Jada,
Or
Dort,
it's not. I know it's not in D&M because.
Kawhi, PG. You already said that.
No, listen, I know, but like
Kyrie, Luka.
Luka.
Number 7.
That's interesting. It's still really bad.
That's what I'm saying.
It's still really
So
bad.
you have 10, 2, and 4.
10, 2, and 4.
10 is gonna be tough.
Is it a roll guy?
It's a roll guy.
East or West?
West. There's only Western Conference teams left.
He's the only contender?
Sorry, there's one East team left.
Is this roll guy
6 or 7 seed.
7th? Oh, so he's on Sacramento.
Sorry. 8.
8, so he's on Sacramento.
7.
You just said.
Yeah, I said 7 you said Sacramento, and then I said
yeah,
8 you
because
said
you
Sacramento.
backed up. The 8th seed right now is Sacramento in the West.
Then he's on 7 seed.
Okay, so he's on New Orleans. Herb Jones,
He is number 12.
Trey Murphy, Daniels,
Person?
Dyson.
There you go. Ding, ding, ding. So now you have 2 and 4.
Okay. So Dyson was a roll guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 shouldn't be tough. 2 could be. One's
Um,
East, one's West. Both on playing teams.
How old is the kid on the West? Is the guy on the East? If you know.
Alright, probably 20, 28, 29. He used to play on one of your favorite teams.
How Kuzma? Is that Eastern team the playoff team?
They're both playing teams.
Both playing teams. Is this?
Plays on a very disappointing team.
Disappointing in the East. I feel like that's obviously Chicago. Is this DeMar?
Not the bar.
Is this?
Not.
Get back on the court though. We miss you. Holy hell. So disappointing team in the East.
You're on the right track.
Am I?
Yep.
Is Chicago the right team?
Mm-hmm.
Caruso.
Yep. It's like what, 28?
Yeah, it's fine then, yeah.
Last one, number 2. On a playing team in the West.
I'm playing a team in the West.
Might as well start name people. I say or ding 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 if it's right.
Well, no, it's not.
It's a guard.
Guard, Cam Reddish.
Cam Reddish.
I don't know. You said throw out names. Playing team in the West. Andrew Wiggins. Is this a guard?
Top 2 playing team.
So New Orleans or Sacramento. Is this a guard?
Yeah.
Davion Mitchell. Really?
Maybe I'm not even top 15. He's not even top 20. Amanda's number 20.
De'Aaron Fox.
Ding 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 ding. Number 1, Shea.
Took me
2,
like-
De'Aaron.
Took me 10 minutes.
3, Matisse. 4, Caruso. 5, Kawhi. 6, PG. 7, Luka. 8, Jalen Suggs. 9, DeJounte. 10, Dyson Daniels.
Okay.
See how long it takes me to get.
That took me 9 minutes.
See how long it takes me to get.
Okay, so this is the top 10 free throw shooters by percentage in the NBA. Does not matter the amount of attempts.
Doesn't matter the attempts.
Does not matter the attempts. This is purely on percentage. Start off.
Starting off. I feel like Shea's in this list.
Shea is not on this list.
Not on this list.
No. Luka is not. Luka is a horrible offense.
Curry.
Luka is a horrible.
Curry,
Number 1.
of course.
There is
How many centers, if any?
1/2. The other guy has played center before.
Is Jokic on this list?
Huh?
Jokic? He's pretty good for sure.
Yes.
Sabonis?
No. More holder for sure.
I'm just naming centers.
I know.
Is the center that you said is a center the one
One of the most skilled big men of all time.
all time? Joel Embiid?
Yes.
Yeah,
Number
it
2.
makes sense. I play a lot of games.
No, number 9. Sorry.
Number 9?
Yes.
Okay.
You have
I
Steph.
got 1 and 9.
You got 1 and 9.
Got a lot of space to cover.
Yeah.
Is there any players on there that just I wouldn't think would be on there? Like any just guys that probably took like 2 free throws. Maybe they put them
No.
on there.
These are all guys that are bulk attempts.
Okay. Role players, stars.
2 role guys. One on some nights is the best player on the team.
A role guy?
Yeah. One of them is arguably sometimes the best player on the team.
And East or West?
East.
Top or bottom?
Top. Bald.
Terry White.
There you go. Derek White's number 6.
Can't stand like that.
There's one for sure role guy on this list.
Besides Terry White?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just think out real quick. Is Jason Tatum on this list?
No.
Interesting. That is interesting. Any more Celtics?
No.
Okay, figured. Is James Harden here?
No.
Surprising. Is there any OKC players here? Okay, I figured. Shea wasn't there. None of the rest of them are going to be there. Nobody on the Spurs is going to be there. Nobody on the Grizzlies.
No.
Nobody on the Blazers. Somebody on the Blazers.
No, is there? It could be.
Tom Matisse.
Oh, God.
Anthony's not close.
Yes, he is. He is number 3.
I figured.
He is shooting 92% from the free throw line.
That's not surprising. Tom Mitchell in there.
Donovan Mitchell? No.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 1, 3.
And 9.
So you have 1, 3, 6, and 9.
Who's 6?
D. White.
Oh, D-White, okay. Nobody else in the Blazers?
No.
Nobody else? Anybody in the Rockets? Okay, so
You have
moving up.
1, 2 of these guys are teammates.
It's not PG or Kawhi.
Well,
Is it PG and Kawhi?
PG Kawhi. PG is number 8 and Kawhi is number 10.
That's surprising, honestly.
Kawhi is shooting 88.5%.
That's not surprising because they don't get to the line often.
So you need number 2, number 4, 5, and 7.
2, 4, 5, and 7.
Yes.
Okay. Any Orlando Magic players?
No.
I had to guess. Is Dame on here?
Yes. Number 2.
Okay, figured. So
You need
4, 5, and 7.
4, 5, and 7.
Okay, 4, 5, 7. Is Tyrese Halliburton on there?
No.
Any more role players?
No. These are all solidified number 1 options.
Number 1 option.
Actually, no. You're still missing the 1 role guy.
That's what I thought. Okay. I'm guessing he's at 7.
No.
No.
The role guy is at 4.
That makes sense. Less shots. Is he
He's a shooter.
shooter? East or West?
East. Been a good shooter his whole career. He's European.
Shooters.
He's European.
Top and bottom of these.
Bottom.
Okay, that makes it tough. Bottom of the East, good shooter, European.
Elite shooter.
Elite.
His first and last name start with the same letter.
Play-in or below?
They're in the plane.
They're in the play-in.
His first and last name start with the same letter.
No, that's not help me at all.
I feel like they should. I feel like it does, but like it doesn't.
So they're in the play-in.
Yes.
Not the Sixers.
No.
Not Miami.
No.
So there's Chicago and
Listen.
like Chicago and we just talked about this.
Go.
Hawks. Oh, it's somebody on a Hawk like a Capella. No, they said the names start with the same letter. That's the first person I thought of when these to the Hawks. Not Trae Young. Is Trae Young on this list?
No, Trae Young is not even top 20.
That's surprising. I feel like he's a good free throw shooter.
Number 14 is Tobias Harris.
I think it's about serious. Jalen Johnson.
No.
He said the same letter.
I'm surprised you haven't gotten this yet. It's pretty obvious. He's a starter.
They take out. This isn't the role guy.
No, this is the role guy. He's a starter. He's a starter.
Takes a lot of free throws.
Yeah.
For the Hawks.
Well, maybe not so much as the other guys, but he just makes every one of them he takes.
Yeah, the Hawks.
Yes.
Stars for the Hawks. Dante Murray. Dude, I can't even find name the stars of the Hawks.
He didn't give me one.
I
want to have to give him one.
I don't want you to give it to me. Is he
He's European.
Bogdan or Bohan, whatever you say?
Yeah, Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Bogdan. I did
Yes,
Bogdan.
he's number 4.
Okay, I forget he's even in Atlanta. I get him mixed up with
Another one.
other Bohan.
Yeah, Boyle. He's shooting 91%. You need number 5 and 7.
Oh, so he was 4.
Yeah.
Okay, and these are stars, number 1 options.
Yes. Yep.
East or West? I'm number 5.
They're both Western players, and they're both foreign-born players.
Okay, not Luka.
They're both foreign-born players.
Not Jokic.
Born outside the country.
Those guys are both born out of the country. I'm just saying they were. You keep saying that. It's Kyrie.
Yeah.
He's not number 1 option. Luka is number 1 option.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, but
He's number 5. He's
He's
number 5.
That for me.
You're missing number 7.
So,
He's European.
European in the West.
Colosel.
Is it Wemby? He's not in there. He's not even great for
He's white as hell, too. He's white.
White as hell. In the West.
European.
On a playoff team?
No.
Bottom?
Yes, but they, for some reason, they like to beat top teams.
What? Bottom 4?
Record-wise, I'm pretty sure yes.
Are they playing?
No, they are out of the play.
It's the Rockets?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say Sengun. But
I don't think he's that good of a shooter.
he takes those.
Yeah, he does.
White guy, super white, bottom 4 teams.
White guy, super white.
That's how you name it. That's that narrowed it down. Good shooter. You said elite shooter?
He's been on 3 different teams in his career.
All in the West?
No, 2 in the East, 1 in the West.
Okay, was he recently traded to the West or recently signed to the West?
This is his 2nd year on this team.
It's not the Blazers. No.
It's his 2nd year on this West team. Part of the big time trade.
A big time trade to a bum team?
Mm-hmm. Involved a high caliber star player.
Is it part of the name trade?
No.
Yeah, it wasn't the Blazers, so. It's not the Spurs. So that leaves me with the Rockets. And
You are at 10 minutes.
leaves me with the Rockets and the Grizzlies.
No and no.
I just named all 4 bottom teams and you said no.
Well, they're not in the. Well, they're not. I swear to God.
I said the Blazers, Spurs, Grizzlies, and Rockets, and you said no to all of them.
They're below. They are eliminated from playoff contention. They have 29 wins this season.
And they're in the West.
Yes. They are.
That's what I'm
They are technically so. Houston is the 11th seed. They are the 12th seed.
Who am I forgetting
That probably should.
right now? Jazz. Lori?
Damn it!
Lori.
I should have given you that.
Yes, existed.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said they like to beat top
Oh
teams.
my god, I forgot they even exist.
Yeah, they like to beat top teams.
Yeah. Lori.
We did this for fun last night. Big Side Podcast, shout out, my favorite podcast. Awesome. Anyway, they did a list of top 10 worst effective field goal percentages. And it took them like 15 minutes to figure it out.
I think we did pretty good.
I think we did okay.
I feel like I didn't go on the effective field goal percentage last
I
night.
feel like I did better than I thought I would.
Free throws are such a weird stat.
It is. That's what I was saying. It was just purely based off percentage.
Yeah, and you just never know if it's going to be a bum guy who only hit 2 free throws this year.
Yeah, because I'll give you 11 through 15. 11 is Devin Booker, 12 Jordan Clarkson, 13 Grayson Allen, 14 Tobias Harris.
When you said white guy, I thought of Grayson Allen.
14 Tobias Harris, and 15 was Jordan Poole. James Harden was 16. Yeah. So you remember he was out shooting Curry at one point 2 years ago.
That's true.
16 was James Harden. Shea is 18.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, kind of wrap things up. Great show. Always great to have. Always great to have you here. Always great. Can't wait for the future holes for the foul line. Again, like and subscribe. Make sure to
Socials. Blow it up. Share it.
check us out on TikTok, Instagram. We post clips almost daily. Great clips. Also YouTube Shorts.
Yes.
Like and subscribe for sure.
Hit us up with your tapes.
Yeah, if you got some takes you want to drop out and give us, you want us to talk about on the show, we definitely will. We're
Absolutely.
all for it. If you wanted to, you can come on and discuss. We're all for it.
Yes.
We're not going to push anybody away.
No. We invite all takes and opinion.
Even bad ones like this.
Just kidding. It's okay.
But next week we have an interesting episode coming out. So we're excited for that. So keep an eye out next week for that. This episode is going to drop Saturday morning.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all I got. You got anything to add?
We appreciate the support so far, and we're excited for the future.
We're at, I can check real quick. We're at 548 subs.
We're on the road to 1K.
On the road to 1K. We hit 1K. We're gonna throw a party. Maybe
Absolutely.
do another giveaway.
Yes.
But yeah, on the road to 1K. So thank you everybody for y'all support. This is episode number 19.
Yes.
It's crazy that we've been this consistent with everything. Every episode going over, 1K views. So yeah, shout out everybody who's ever tuned into the video.
We love it. Thank you.
We love it. Missing Wyatt today. Can't wait to get him back on. But yeah, for the foul line, I'm Connor. That's Wyatt. And we'll catch you later.